Hi everybody, welcome back. Just wanted to actually do a quick share. This actually is something I made last year. It was my pirate themed message in a bottle. So tonight, not a half an hour ago, Trish Smith, that is the administrator of a new group that she just released, Crafty Manipulators, was doing a live chat, and she was showing us her potion bottles that she had just made, which really came out cute. I'm sorry, I got a curtain blowing around here. Which came out really cute, and when she was doing it and talking about it and stuff, I thought about this bottle and that we had used some chicken bones. Now, the whole thing was, and she got fascinated by the chicken bones, so I needed to talk about the chicken bones, and I figured I would show this bottle because I really was happy with it last year. It was a lot of fun to make, but it was last year, so I'm trying to remember. So basically we did a pirate theme. I have a pirate themed, we have a part of it is pirate themed Halloween display out front, and I did do a video on my huge treasure chest, and this was something that kind of went with that whole theme. We have some pirate skeletons. We have a pirate skeleton that sits on a 6-foot skeleton horse. So I made this message in a bottle prop to go with it. So let's just start with the chicken bones, just because it kind of just turned into a thing on her live chat. So basically what we did was, it all started with my mom had bought some potion bottle labels. I don't remember if it was from Michael's or AC Moore or one of those. But she had these potion bottle labels, and two of the labels, one was the bones of Hansel, and the other one was the ashes of Gretel. So we actually went out to the fire pit that we have outside, and we took some ashes, we put them in a bottle, ashes of Gretel, good to go. Well, the bones of Hansel, she's like, how am I going to do that? Well, of course, that night for dinner, or maybe the next night, we were having a rotisserie chicken. And I started looking at some of the bones, and I was like, they're small, but, which is good to fit in these types of bottles, but they kind of have like the human like femur bone look and stuff. I mean, you don't really want to use the wings, but I think we did some ribs and things like that. So basically what we did was, we ended up, you know, you pick off all the meat that you can, and we kind of did this on the fly, no information, we just kind of said, well, if we ruin a few chicken bones, who cares? Because they just get thrown out anyway. So anyway, we did get a little paranoid about, I'm like, yeah, so if we start sticking chicken bones into Halloween props, are we going to create some kind of like super salmonella? Like, next thing you know, planet is, you know, you have salmonella zombies running around. So, you know, you start thinking about things like that. So we kind of decided to boil the bones to try to kill off any bacteria, but it also helped to get like all the connective tissues off the ends. Let's be real, that's how things work, connective tissues. But what happened was, we noticed, which I didn't really realize that was going to happen, but I wasn't really worried about it because who cares if we ruin some chicken bones. So we boiled them, and they got kind of translucent-y brownish color, but they also got very soft. They were like very pliable and bendy, which was kind of weird. But we said, let's just throw them in the bleach. And the bleach, we just took basically a cup of some sort that we were not going to reuse, threw the bones in the bleach, let them sit there for a while. And they actually did start turning like a translucent-y white. But they were still really soft, and we were like, who knows what's going to happen. So I think we just rinsed them off in some cold water in the sink for a while, just to make sure all the bleach was off it for chemical purposes. And don't boil them in bleach, because you don't want, like, bleach steam in your house, and you don't want to be breathing that in. So, but anyway, we rinsed them off. We just put them on a paper towel or something and left them overnight, and they actually came out pretty white. So it actually worked out pretty well. So that is the story of the chicken bones. So we had some extra bones. I just threw them in here. I just thought it was interesting. So I did a message in a bottle. So all I basically did, obviously this is just a wine bottle. For the message, I actually just used copy paper, and I don't remember if there's a full message on this one or not. I know one of them I do have a full funny little story, but I think it just says, do not come looking for us, and there's some Halloween date on here. October 31st, 1692. I don't know. I just literally made stuff up. Didn't really matter at that point, but I just wanted to use some kind of scripty, old style, old world font just to make it look like it came off a pirate ship of some sort. So anyway, threw that in there. Oh, duh. Let me get back to the rest of it. So after, I just printed it out on straight copy paper, no fancy paper, just straight copy paper. I took a candle, lit it, and then I burned all the edges to give it a nice ripply effect. But to not let the burning get out of control, I had like a little cup with water in it. And I think I just used, yes, I definitely used just a cheap dollar store small foam brush. And I would get it, I wouldn't light it on fire. I would just get it till it started to singe. And then once it got to like a way, it would just kind of be like little embers. Which you got to be careful because that little papery stuff just wants to fly all over. So, I don't know. Be careful doing that too. Not for kids. Disclaimers. Don't try this at home. I just took the foam brush, dipped it in the water, and then when the ripples got to where I wanted it, I just wiped it across just literally the edge of the paper just to stop the burning. And it actually came out pretty well. Then all I did after that was, I think we use the Keurig, so we do have the K-Cups, and I always feel like those things, when you throw them out and stuff, they're a waste. So I had just ripped the foil off of one, boiled some water, literally just poured coffee grinds in this hot water, stirred it up, let it cool for a few minutes. I think I probably went and printed this out and then did the burning while I was letting that cool. Printed that out real fast and literally just took the paper, crumpled it up into a ball, laid it back out flat, dipped my brush into that foam brush into the coffee grinds, and just wiped it, just covered the whole sheet in it. Then I think, because I'm impatient, I took the blow dryer, blew dry it till the paper got kind of crispy again. And guess what? I just crumpled it up again, laid it out, did the backside. Hit it with the blow dryer, got it to dry. I think I did that maybe twice on each side. And it did. It got this kind of cool parchment-y look without being real parchment, which was kind of cool. And it held up. Basically, then all I did was, I did spray this with some, we happen to have it because we used it on actually some furniture pieces, furniture piece that we have, like a cabinet. It had clear glass windows. We didn't want the windows to be clear. So we bought, Rust-Oleum makes a frosted glass spray paint. So I just hit it just in a few spots. I didn't want to cover the whole thing so you couldn't see in it. I just hit like just a couple of spots. Then I just used, I don't know, it looks like some brown and greens and yellows, just all kinds of funky mossy, trying to make it look like algae. And just sponge painted. It's just acrylic paint, not even like any kind of latex or anything, just acrylic paint, not even special glass paint. I didn't care if it started to get chippy. I mean, this was actually outside for all of October last year. So that's basically all I did there, just sponge painted it on, and if I felt like I went too far, I just took something, an X-Acto knife or something, I just kind of scratched it off, and then if I didn't like the edge, I could just kind of fix it, but I didn't want to cover up too much. I did have a barnacle-y thing. I just used, basically I just globbed hot glue on the side of the bottle and just started sticking in some seashells that we had. And then I also had used to fill in, so it kind of looked corally, was I actually used, this is actually fish tank gravel that we had lying around. So that we had never used, and it was just a bag of it, so I used some of that on there. I do have that barnacle thing. I have to get like a 2-part epoxy or something to actually adhere it to the glass. Because of course glass and hot glue just don't mix. But it was a good way to get it formed on there, was to use the hot glue. But I do actually have it. I actually found it. I did find it. I just don't know what the heck I did with it. I'm going to have to... I saw it. I had it in my hand. Had it in my hot little hand. So then the other cool thing I did, I just put some brown cording. Then the other thing I did, which... I just had to go get I actually knew I had some of these left, so I had to go get, this is garbage bag. It is cheap, dollar store, thin garbage bag that you would never buy for an actual garbage bag because these things are so thin. But they work great for making fake seaweed, kelpie type stuff. And I had to remember the technique. Remember, I made this all last year. I had a heck of a time I was finding it on Pinterest, but nobody was saying how they did it. I knew it was garbage bag, but nobody was saying how they got the effect. So I finally found, I mean, after days of searching, I did finally find how to do it on YouTube. So I actually just went and got a piece of that garbage bag, and all you do is you cut it into strips. These happen to be thin strips, but I actually did full garbage bags and made the strips wide, like a good maybe 3-inch wide strips. And I actually have it hanging off the horse in the pirate. I kind of wanted to have that Pirates of the Caribbean feel like in the first one when they were all skeletonized in the moonlight and they had gone off the ship, but they were walking up through the coral. It definitely kind of had that Davy Jones locker kind of feel. So I did remember the technique. All you basically do is you take your thumbs on top and you put your pointer fingers together underneath, and then you just kind of pull and roll from the center. And you just do that. I had actually started that one because I was trying to remember the technique. And you just kind of keep pulling. You don't want to pull too hard till it rips, but honestly, if it does, who gives a junk? I had some rip, like, you know, halfway down. I just cut it off there. Who cares? I wanted it to have different layers. So that was totally fine with me. I didn't want it to all be the same length. But that's really all you do. And then I just took some sponge paint. I took two different color greens, put a little green on one corner, put a little green, darker green, lighter green on the other corner, who cares, and just started dabbing away at it. I think I had it laid out on like paper, but see how it gets that leafy feel? So yeah, that's all that technique was. That's all it is. It's a little, you know, it's a little tedious as you're doing it, but especially if you're doing big ones. But if you're just doing little ones like this, but these real super thin garbage bags are great for that. So that's really all it is, guys. If I can find the barnacle thing, I will at least post a picture of it with it on it. I know I have it. And then I just glued it on and put that cording around it so you didn't see the top. And it definitely has a cool seaweedy feel. But that's it, guys. That's all I wanted to show. Trish, I hope you understand the chicken bones. The chicken bones. We did it on the fly. We didn't have a formula. We didn't have a... We weren't checking times. We just kind of boiled some water, threw the chicken bones in it, and went, that probably killed all the bacteria, and took them out. I don't know, 10 minutes maybe? Same thing with the bleaching. We just kind of threw it in there and probably went and watched a movie. They could have been in there half an hour. They could have been in there 3 hours. They could have been in there. I don't think we left them in overnight. That I don't think we did. But, I mean, I really couldn't tell you how long we left them in for. Maybe an hour. And we just do stuff on the fly, especially when it came to chicken bones. We didn't care if we wrecked, if it didn't work out right for us. We were just going to chuck them. It didn't matter. It was just chicken bones out of a rotisserie chicken that we had happened to have for dinner that night. I mean, that's just all it boiled down to. So, anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it inspires you. Have a good night.